Hi, everyone. My name is Nick Chavez, and today I'm going to be presenting on RTI for English language learners. And just a heads up, I am presenting right before my partner Paige, who is presenting on a different topic, which is on graphic organizers. To start off, RTI stands for Response to Intervention. It's a strategy it's a strategy that helps teachers and educators identify students who might be struggling early on and provide support specific care to their needs. We'll go through what RTI is and how it works for English learning students, real classroom examples, and a demonstration activity. RTI is an instructional model that focuses on helping students succeed rather than labeling them as having a problem. For ELL students, it ensures that both language and content skills are supported. Teachers document what works and what doesn't, and then they adjust instruction accordingly to their needs. The core principles of RTI include differentiating instruction based on student needs, documenting interventions, involving parents and other family members in the process, and using assessments to guide instruction. This combination ensures that students receive support appropriate to their abilities and learning pace. RTI is often described as a multi-tiered system. Tier 1 is the general classroom instruction that every student receives. Tier 2 offers extra support for students who need it, such as small group instruction. Tier 3 is intensive, individualized instruction for students with specific needs. And some districts across the country also have a Tier 4 that is for special education services if needed. Accommodations are strategies that make learning accessible, like giving a student a seat in the front of the class or allowing a computer program to help practice skills. Modifications adjust what's expected from students, such as simplifying assignments or using visuals for new vocab. Interventions are based on or interventions are research-based, targeted approaches that are more intensive, like small group instruction or providing English support based on the student's language development level. Assessment is a key principle in RTI. Teachers use a variety of tools like running records, spelling tests, and anecdotal notes to see how students are progressing. The results guide which accommodations, modifications, or interventions should be used. This constant documentation ensures that students don't fall behind and that instruction is responsive to their needs. Parents and other family members play an essential role in RTI. Teachers involve them in planning and share updates on student progress. This is largely because parents' insights help guide which students will be most effective, and they are kept informed of any interventions or modifications being used. Here are a couple of classroom examples. The first example could be Mrs. Brown, a first grade teacher, uses running records, visuals, and acts out vocabulary to support her English learning students. A second example could be Mr. Jenkins, a high school teacher who sets up learning centers and a bilingual dictionary to help students build English skills while keeping up with content classes. Both teachers document strategies and progress consistently, which helps the students move forward. Now let's try a mini demonstration. Suppose I'm teaching the word community. First, I can show a picture and say the word out loud. Next, I can provide a sentence frame such as, I live in a blank so that students can use the word in context. Then I can guide a small group practice session. And finally, I can check comprehension and document how well the students understood the word. This mirrors RTI because we're assessing, supporting, and documenting learning all at the same time. Ultimately, RTI is a powerful framework for supporting English learners. It ensures students get the right support, tracks their process through documentation, and it helps teachers make informed decisions about instruction. When combined with parent involvement and consistent assessment, RTI can make a huge difference in both language and content development. That just about wraps up the end of my presentation on RTI. Thank you a lot for listening, and I hope you enjoy my partner's presentation as well. Thank you.
Hi guys. So for my presentation, I'm going to focus on graphic organizers and how to appropriately use them with our English language learners. Graphic organizers are visual tools that help students to organize their information, make connections, and better understand academic content. Um, Graphic organizers can support English learners by making abstract ideas visible so they're able to take it and see it rather than just hear it or speak it. It helps reduce language load. It helps students to structure their thinking, break it out into smaller parts, and it provides a scaffold for speaking, reading, and writing. Um, Common types of graphic organizers include Venn diagrams, which is what we're going to focus on today, T-charts, story maps, concept maps, flow charts, and KWL charts. Graphic organizers help us see and visualize our thinking instead of trying to hold everything in our heads. We lay it out visually so we can understand it more clearly. Um, Classroom implementation of these ideas, like so different ways that you could use these organizers would be, using a KWL chart to assess where a student's background knowledge on a specific subject may be. You get to understand what they know before. And then at the end, it also allows you to compare and contrast, what they knew, what they want to know, and then what they did learn. If they learned something new or if they're still struggling with the content. You could use a story map during like ELA to track characters, um, the setting, like the problem, the resolution, all within a story. This helps our students to track the story without getting lost in the language. Um, you can use a concept map to summarize key ideas. Um, when you are providing these organizers to students, you want to give partially completed, partially filled out organizers. You want to add visuals, you want to add icons, you want to put in maybe sentence frames, depending on where they are academically with the learning the English language. Um, so that is what my lesson's going to be on. Our lesson is going to be on toads and frogs. It's referring back to the lesson the previous day. It is following up on what we learned, comparing and contrasting the two animals. So this is going to be my lesson. Um, Good morning, class. I'm so happy to see you. Today, we're going to use a Venn diagram to compare our toads and our frogs. A Venn diagram helps us to see what is the same or what might be different. Has anybody seen a Venn diagram before? Do you know what shape it uses? That's right, it uses circles. So here's my Venn diagram. As you can see, we have some information in it already that's going to help us today. Now, here's our toad side. Do we know what's going to go over here? That's right. Everything that is only my toads. See, it says only toads. So if we have only toads over here, what's going to go over here? That's right. Only frogs. So our information that pertains only to our frogs. Now, if we have toads on one side and our frogs on the other, what's going to go in the middle? I see the middle. That's right. It's going to be both our toads and our frogs. Now, what is something we could put on the only toad side? That's right. That's very good. We can put toads have bumpy skin. Okay, so if we have something that goes on the toad side, what is something that we can put on the frog side? If toads have bumpy skin, what about frogs? That's right, frogs have smooth skin. Very, very good. Well, what is something we could put in the middle? What's something that both toads and frogs have, or what's something both toads and frogs do? Very, very good. Let's go ahead and put that in. Toads and frogs both, whoop, both jump. That's very good, guys. So these are some good fun things that we've learned. So we know that toads have bumpy skin, that frogs have smooth skin, and we know that they both can jump. Very good. Now, on your desk, you're going to find your copy of a graphic organizer, okay? I want you in your desk pairs with your partner next to you to think of two animals that we can compare, like we did our toads. Give me an idea. What's one animal that we could compare? We could compare a dog. That's Miss Page's favorite animal. Look, oh, let's do the puppy. So we could compare a puppy or a dog to what? A cat? Ooh, that's very good. Let's do the cat that's laying down. So now, hmm, let's work with our partner next to us. In your Venn diagram, like our one up here, you're going to want to have one animal on one side, the other on the other. So you're going to have your dogs over here and your cats over here. Okay, and remember, you're going to put something that is only that animal. It could be the way it acts, it could be where it lives, it could be what it eats, it could be how it looks. So that's what we're going to do. So each side is going to have what is only that animal. And then in the middle, you're going to put something that is the same. Now you only need to do one or two facts for each area. So one or two facts of a dog, one or two facts of a cat, and then one or two facts of things that make them the same. and you're going to have about 15 minutes to work with your partner to think of some really good ideas. And um, so if you, as you see, my um, Venn diagram, I had it pre-filled out partially. I gave students the chance to add information to it to give them that confidence. We went over it, and then with that, they were then able to apply those concepts in pairs. Rather than having them worried about trying to do it alone, they were able to work with another person to fill out that information. Um, graphic organizers, they visually structure the information to support the students' learning of the concepts. Um, when you are providing this information to students, you need to give simple directions, you need to show step by step and explain your reasoning. It's a we do, you do in groups, you do in groups, you do alone. So you are breaking down that working with the teacher in pairs and then alone.